Heroes Episode 1 on the horizon. Fans within the Dragon Ball community are begging the question, what is going to be the outcome between Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Super Saiyan Blue Goku as we enter the age of the Dragon Ball Heroes anime, with not only future Trunks having to return and being captured and sent out to the prison planet, but also seeing as to how Goku and Vegeta must fight very powerful opponents in order to free Trunks from captivity. As joining me here today to discuss Dragon Ball Heroes Episode 1 is my good friend Super Saiyan Paul. As Paul, I wanted to ask you your thoughts going into Dragon Ball Heroes Anime Episode 1 with Super Saiyan 4 Goku having to fight against Super Saiyan Blue Goku. What are your overall expectations for that, and do you believe that it's possible for us to have an extended battle between these two characters in this anime, because it's going to be the first time that we ever get to see Super Saiyan 4 engage against Super Saiyan Blue, even though yes, Super Saiyan Blue is theoretically stronger by many standards. This is a Xeno Super Saiyan 4 Goku, so this is completely different as opposed to what we've seen in the Dragon Ball GT anime. But going into Episode 1, what are your overall thoughts as we go into Fu's introduction and seeing Goku and Vegeta go off to the prison planet to rescue Trunks? What are your overall thoughts as to what's to be expected, and what do you want to see as a fan as we enter Episode 1?
With Trunks being locked up and all, we know that this is going to be a short series, so I'm expecting this, the plot to move very fast paced. And what I see is him getting locked up right away in the beginning, and then Mai going to them for help, and all of a sudden we're going to see this huge build up to what the concept of Prison Planet is, and they're going to explain that very vaguely. And I think they're just going to rush us straight into the Super Saiyan 4 Goku versus Super Saiyan Blue fight. However, I don't think it's really going to take place in this episode. I have a feeling they say that for the second one, but just to show us that stare down between these two iconic characters is going to be the selling point of this new show. And the best thing about it, it's a big what if, so they can literally do anything as fast of a pace as they want to. And I think more so than it actually being like a logical plot, I think it's just going to be, hey, this is what fan service is. We're going to bring it right to you guys. You guys always wanted to see this. Here we go.
I definitely feel like the first episode is going to capture the essence of fan service, because here we have Goku and Vegeta training with Whis, and we don't know exactly what time period this is, or you know, when exactly, if this is after the Tournament of Power, if this is after the Dark Demon Realm saga. But it's very clear that we get to see Goku and Vegeta training with Whis as Super Saiyan Blues, and then out of nowhere we see how Fu arrives with Mai in telling Goku and Vegeta, hey, so we've captured Trunks, and for you to free him, you're gonna have to battle against some of the strongest. So my question to you is, what kind of characters do you see actually be introduced in Episode 1? Because aside from Super Saiyan 4 Goku having to fight Super Saiyan Blue Goku, I think that in and of itself is going to sell a lot, because a lot of us have always wondered, you know, what would be the outcome if Super Saiyan 4 Goku fought against either Super Saiyan God or Super Saiyan Blue, which we already have confirmation that yes, Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan Blue are stronger than Super Saiyan 4. That's been confirmed ever since Battle of Gods. But now as we get to see Xeno's Super Saiyan 4 Goku fight against a Capsule Corp Super Saiyan Blue Goku, it's going to be very awesome, because we've seen during the Universal Missions teaser how they fought, you know, like I think they fought twice before, so now they're gonna go ahead and fight, you know, initially in this anime. So my thoughts to you are, like, what are your overall expectations for this? Like, once we get to see Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Super Saiyan Blue Goku fight, do you think that it's going to be a long fight? Do you think that perhaps there is going to be a winner, or do you think that they're going to cut that a bit short in just giving you a taste of what it's like to see them fight, but not finishing the fight at all when it comes down to, you know, the very end of that battle?
I don't think they're gonna want to give us a decisive winner. What I see, because it's the first fight of the show, is just to show off the characters and their designs against one another. I don't see them going to an in-depth fight. The thing that I really want to see from the first episode, though, is explaining Fu and what he has to bring to the table as a villain, because we know that it's going to be a short series. It's not going to be super long, so the pacing and everything's going to be super fast. And with a character like Fu, I want to see where he's coming from, and them introducing him into the realm of the Dragon Ball universe very very intricately, and showing us what his main plot and design is about. Like, is he a bad guy? What's his motivation? What is he really trying to achieve in the end game here? But even though it's gonna be rushed, I'm just looking for something very in-depth with the villain here. Other than everything else, they can do whatever. Like, literally, I want to see all the what if fights in the book, like Time Breakers versus the main cast and all these great things. Hopefully they bring like new characters to the table that we haven't seen before.
Oh, there are a lot. See, people don't understand the concept of what Dragon Ball Heroes is, and it's very wacky when it comes to scaling, because I'll give you a good example. Timebreaker Bardock in his base form was able to survive a Super Spirit Bomb that had the powers of Beat, Gogeta Super Saiyan 4, Piccolo, and various others, and the only thing that happened to Bardock during that time was his mask shattered. Then he was able to tank a Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta's punch, and then that's just Timebreaker Bardock alone. We also have, a little bit of detail that someone like King Vegeta, Timebreaker King Vegeta, is able to withstand godlike beings. So, the scaling for this is going to be off the charts. But you've mentioned a few things in the idea that they might rush this. Do you think that they're going to rush episode 1 as quickly as it's going to be introduced, or do you believe that they're going to take their time and kind of like expanding that story? Because I don't think that necessarily they're going to rush this whole thing, because you need to build up on the fundamentals of Goku and Vegeta going out to the prison planet and trying to free Trunks by battling several opponents. Now, who those, people are going to be is unknown as of this recording. It could be, Baby Janemba, Baby Hatchak, it could be Timebreaker Bardock, it could be Timebreaker King Vegeta, it could be Cell X, it could be Majin Janemba for all we know. I mean, because Super Dragon Ball Heroes as a whole focuses around fan service, heavy fan service, and depending on if you're a fan of what ifs and fan concepts, then this is going to be the anime for you, or at least partially, because we don't know how long this is going to be. But in terms of pacing, do you really believe that this first episode is just going to rush everything through until we get to the fight with Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Super Saiyan Blue Goku, or do you think that they're going to take their time, like you said, and perhaps maybe demonstrate a little bit of what Blue Goku can do against Super Saiyan 4 Goku until they get to episode 2?
I think they're going to show off SS4 versus Super Saiyan Blue in the second episode. For the main part of the first one, it's just, hey, these are the characters in the show, here's Fu, bring them straight to Prison Planet, and then they're going to have these two beings clash at the very end. I don't see them going super in-depth to the story, because this isn't canon to the real story, and I think the best part about it is it's not going to be able to take itself seriously, so they can do whatever they want. And I feel like without the harsh criticism of what fits into the timeline, this is kind of fills in that niche role of like Dragon Ball what ifs that we've been wanting to see for so long. Like, it's not part of the main story, and YouTube kind of took that over. Like all these other Dragon Ball what if series like Absalon and all these other stories like from Master and all these great animated fan works, I think they kind of realized that, and this is what they're doing as like an official fan type of service show. So that's the main point of it. I think it's just, hey, here's the what if characters, not so much about the story. Don't take it too seriously like we did with the Dragon Ball Super Tournament of Power arc, and have a good time with it. That's what I see from it. Not story driven, mainly character driven.
See, here's the thing. A lot of people are going to, get it confused in thinking that Dragon Ball Heroes is going to replace Dragon Ball Super in terms of like the main anime for the summer, and that's not the case at all. Shueisha and Toei Animation can do whatever they want. I mean, they have the official licensing, they're the people behind this. So no, this is not going to be the official canon to what Dragon Ball Super was after the Tournament of Power. In fact, the continuation after the Tournament of Power is in fact the upcoming Dragon Ball Super movie in December. So those two things are entirely different. But what I also wanted to ask you here is, since Goku's gonna fight Goku, and that's gonna be a big fan service kind of fight, where do you see Vegeta in episode 1? Do you see Vegeta kind of kicking back and watching this whole thing go down? Do you see Vegeta stepping in and kind of like, removing Super Saiyan Blue Goku out of the way and saying, you know what, let me be the one to fight Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and thus setting up for a Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta versus Super Saiyan 4 Goku fight? Or do you think that we might get another character to appear, perhaps maybe Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, that could come in and taking the role of fighting Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, currently the one that we saw in the anime? So like what are your thoughts on that?
As much as I would love to see Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta go against Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, I feel like for Vegeta, he has to get somebody else coming out of the blue to it.
So somebody different, you think?
Yeah, someone definitely different to mix it up. And I think, like, when you see Super Saiyan 4 versus Super Saiyan Blue on the thumbnail, it's a big spark to know that this is coming with official animation. So I think for them to really switch it up, what other character would you think that would, like, kind of match Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta in terms of, like, whatever? Because the power skilling's everywhere, so literally anything can come at him. I'm expecting, like, maybe another Timebreaker character from the GT arc or something like that to come at him. Like, something that we haven't seen in a long time, and not something relating to Super. I want something from from GT, and if it was like something like a time breaker.
So you think another GT character would make sense, you think? I mean, we also have the merger of Super Android 17 and 18, the one that fought Super Saiyan 4 Gohan, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, and Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta in one of the Dragon Ball Heroes missions, victory missions that we saw a couple of years ago. We have that. We also have, you know, the Tuffles. We have the return of Omega. I mean, it really all varies as to who you think would, you know, fit in that role. But in terms of, like, for example, the time breakers, like you just mentioned, what kind of time breaker would you want to see appear first? Because for me, I think, because we're fans of Dragon Ball Online, going all the way back to the original, I think it would only make sense for them to introduce time breaker Bardock first. But we all know how popular Broly is and has always been in the Dragon Ball franchise. Do you think that they might switch it up a bit in introducing Timebreaker Broly, Super Saiyan 4 Broly? Because we saw that in some of the victory missions prior to Dragon Ball Heroes. We saw when Super Mira fought against Super Saiyan 4 Xeno Goku and Super Saiyan 4 Timebreaker Broly, which was insane. So do you think that it would be best for them to introduce, maybe per se, a Broly-esque character under the mind control of being a Timebreaker? Or do you think that they should just start things off properly in having perhaps maybe Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta fight off against Timebreaker Bardock?
As much as I would love him to fight Timebreaker Bardock, like the first character that came to mind for him to fight was Broly for me, because Broly hasn't been capitalized in the Super Saiyan 4 form like as much as Timebreaker Bardock
ever
has.
At all, yeah.
I mean, besides like Dragon Ball Heroes the game, I mean, we've seen Timebreaker Bardock in Xenoverse, we've seen him in Dragon Ball MO, but we haven't seen this SS4 Broly that has been in fan art since our childhood.
Yeah,
like childhood
I
in
remember
animated
that, yeah.
form. So I feel like if they were to throw him into the mix, this show is gonna blow up. Like literally, I'm going to watch the episode the same time it's released to the public, right away, like more than I would for Bardock. And I think for that to be pushed into the toy realm as well, because they can do literally whatever they want, I feel like that would be the best selling point for the show. And even if it's a short run, I think they want to get the biggest heavy hitters out there. I feel like Broly would take place over Bardock, if anything. Make sure you guys comment down below with your thoughts and opinions on that.
I definitely think that the way they're going to handle this, I mean, they're going to have to introduce, I think, in my opinion, Mira and Towa if they want to go in that direction. Or maybe introducing Mechikabura, who is the grandfather of Towa. But I also feel like they're going to have to also introduce the Time Breakers, because it'll only make sense for them to also introduce the Time Patrollers and the Supreme Kai of Time and all of these other beings that could come into play in helping Goku and Vegeta out. So by the end of it, the big question here is, do you see a conclusive battle between Xeno Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Capsule Corp Super Saiyan Blue Goku? Or do you think that one of two things may happen? Either they, you know, as a result, stop fighting entirely, or maybe one wins, or maybe they end up working together to fight off the next person that shows up that's potentially even more powerful than both of them. So what are your thoughts on the conclusion of this fight? Because as I said before, this could go in so many different directions that we don't know definitively what they're going to do yet. But in your opinion, looking at the scope and how this might go down, what are your thoughts to the end result of Goku versus Goku in this upcoming anime?
I don't see it being a conclusive ending, because if this was really that much of an, they would right away. I feel like it's gonna be Goku's character. They're gonna fight for fun and then realize, hey, why are we doing this? And something else is gonna interrupt it. If it was like the end all be all to like really definitively show us who was stronger out of the two, this would have been saved for the end. But I think as a selling point, marketing device, perfect for the first episode, and for them to have it interrupted or if anything like that and not have a decisive winner, it makes more sense for the show because it creates more longevity.
But do you see them ultimately working together if that's the case? Because I mean, it's kind of weird to fathom two Gokus fighting together, because one of Goku is very strong in and of itself, but imagine two. So do you see two Gokus ever working together, or do you think that one of them, i.e. being SS4, fading away as the anime continues?
I feel like SS4 might fade away because he's like from the out of the blue type of character. I actually want to see him more. I have a side and use him as a side character.
I definitely feel that Dragon Ball Heroes Episode 1 is going to start off with a bang, and what better way to kick things off with a banger than having Super Saiyan 4 Goku collide against Super Saiyan Blue Goku. Now, it's been confirmed in Dragon Ball Heroes the video game that Super Saiyan Blue Goku is stronger than Super Saiyan 4 Xeno Goku, but the only difference here is now that we're seeing the anime version of this, they actually might end up portraying Super Saiyan 4 Saiyan 4 Goku at a much stronger tier, maybe even a bit stronger than how we've seen him in Super Dragon Ball Heroes prior. But I think that as we go into this fight, by the end of it, I don't think it's going to end in some sort of a conclusion. I think that we might end up seeing an interruption between either a new enemy having to appear, or maybe something out of the ordinary ends up happening to where we see Xeno Super Saiyan 4 Goku teaming up with Capsule Corp Super Saiyan Blue Goku for them to possibly fight off a common enemy. And it's most interesting that Trunks is captured yet again, with Fu having to basically set aside the rules and saying, look, if you want to free your friend, you're going to have to do what's required of you to actually set him free. So in the end, guys, let us know what you all think down in the comment section below. What are your thoughts on this upcoming anime show? What are your thoughts on seeing Super Saiyan 4 Goku fight Super Saiyan Blue Goku? Despite what side of the fence you are in between Super Saiyan 4 and Super Saiyan Blue, design, power, feats, strength, whatever the case may be, what are your overall thoughts on seeing this in the form of an anime and seeing what this is going to be like? And what are your overall thoughts on us entering the prison planet arc so quickly and seeing Trunks be captured and seeing Fu get in the mix? And looking at it from Vegeta's standpoint, what are your overall thoughts as to what he might end up doing? Thank you all so much for watching once again, guys. If you guys are new to this channel and of course love Dragon Ball, don't forget to slap a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, guys, with notifications enabled to be up to date with all latest in Dragon Ball Heroes news, information, updates, and spoilers, alongside discussions and various other things. Thank you all once more for watching, guys. Thank you all once again for tuning in, and I'll be seeing each and every single one of you guys down in the comment section below. Cue my motherfucking outro, bitch.